beyond these games that we've already talked about, are there any that really stand out to you among these week 7 matchups?
Yeah, definitely. We don't talk about the Belton Tigers a lot.
Right.
We mentioned Lake Belton, the Lake Belton Broncos, and with Micah Hudson and everything. But Belton is playing really well, and they go up against a Leander Rouse team that's also playing really well, and that was a hard game to pick. I went with Belton, but I kind of, I was like, can Belton keep this going? Because I feel like in a sense, it's not like they come out of nowhere, but they have been a little bit overshadowed by Lake Belton since it opened up, and it's been a little bit since Belton was really good. But they're right there, and Brice, I know they stumped you a few times early in the season. I got some games on you when you picked Brenham to beat them, and
yeah, I did. Of course, I'm always going to go with Brenham. I mean, come on.
Right, you old homer. The other one that was really hard to pick was Chilton-Bremond.
Agreed. That's always a lot of times the top 10 game. Bremond lost some games we didn't necessarily think they were going to lose, and they fell out of the top 10 earlier in the season. But should be a good one. What do you say, DJ?
Yeah, both of those are really good matchups. I also picked Belton. I feel like their quarterback is one of the best ones around here.
Brice Rumfield. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to Crawford-Marlin this weekend, which I feel should be an interesting matchup. Crawford, obviously not as good as they were last year, just because that happens when they cycle out, their experienced players. But I feel like Marlin's also just been quietly doing really well for itself lately. We haven't really talked to them a ton or talked about them a ton. But they started off the season kind of rough, and they're kind of slowly just making progress. I don't really know if any other games are like sticking out.
So I tell you, I'm looking at our picks right now, and we have all picked the Wampus Cats to beat Italy. And the reason I picked Itasca was that last year that was a 1-point game, between the two. And I feel like they've moved enough in opposite directions a little bit to where I think we're right to pick Itasca to win that one.
Yeah, I will say that was another one that I had to sort of mull over. I feel like I said, they're low key a lot of really competitive matchups this week. Another one I will mention that I don't think this is just a slam dunk for China Spring, but China Spring opens district play on the road this week at Alvarado, and Alvarado has played pretty well this year. I mean, we've talked a lot about how good we think that district is going to be. I think this is, not an easy place to start a district if you're China Spring.
That's my out on the limb pick of the year so far, because I've gone with Alvarado.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, Chad. I like the Teague-Malakoff matchup. I was the only one to pick Teague, but I think they got a chance. So
if they win that one, sign me up for the Lions, because they've been good all year, but if they beat Malakoff, you're talking about, I think, a top 10 team in Malakoff. So we'll see. Some good ones. I'll be interested in all of those.